Okay, here we go. A new design challenge. We're going to spend the next few days designing a desk organizer for a staff member at school who has asked for such a device. So this notebook is going to lay out that assignment for you. On the slideshow that you'll be given, a nice quote. I like this quote. I think it's kind of interesting. Wow is what we should always be trying to do. Do the best that you can. Remember, I'm looking specifically for the design process on these particular things. So if your design isn't the best, that's okay, but I really want a good documentation of this design process, defining what the problem is, identifying the constraints, brainstorming, sketch out different ideas. So document each of these. Your actual challenge. You're going to make a desk organizer. There are some criteria that I'll go over in a moment, but basically it needs to hold a cell phone safely, securely. It needs to store scissors, paper clips, and pencils. So it needs to be able to hold all of these different things neatly organized on your desk. Remember, I'm looking specifically for the process. The finished design should be functional and should work, but I really want documentation around these steps. So define the problem, identify the constraints, brainstorm, sketches, put down sketches, maybe some online research, include that information. Select the best solution, explain why. Prototype it. You're going to make a prototype showing what this thing is going to look like, explain if it's going to work, and then iterate, improve it. What can be done to make it better? Last slide in the show, this is the actual assignment with a little more detail that you can open up. So here is the actual assignment, and can I zoom in a little bit? Maybe not. So you're going to do a desk organizer. Limitations, here are your limitations. Must support the following items. Cell phone needs to have organization for the wire. It just can't hang all over the place. Make sure it holds the scissors, paperclip, and pencils. Maximum size, it can be smaller. No height limit necessarily, although you probably don't want a 2 or 3 foot tall desk organizer. Have some style, have some flair, have some uniqueness to it. Try to make it special. And again, I'm looking for details. Define each of these, explain each of these. So you're going to create a slideshow, and on one slide you might define the problem. What is the design that we're trying to come up with? Second slide might have identify the constraints. What are the limitations? These are some of the limitations listed up here. Brainstorm, slide 3, maybe 2 or 3 slides for brainstorming depending upon how much you do, and so on. A few additional notes. Prototype it. This can be done as a 3D model in Tinkercad, or this can be done as a cardboard prototype or a wood prototype, paper prototype if that's all that you have. An example of a 3D model, here is my example that I threw together. This is my desk organizer as a model in Tinkercad. There's a base, there's some dividers here, and then I thought it would be fun to put a hoop on the back of it, so if I'm bored I can shoot baskets with little pieces of paper. So there's a model of my particular example. Another example could be, oh shoot, I didn't save it. A cardboard an example, which would look like this. This is a cardboard example that somebody made in the past. Pieces of cardboard that are cut out, glued together, stapled together in some fashion, mocking up what their project would actually be. If this was produced, this wouldn't be made out of cardboard. It would probably be wood or maybe 3D printed, something like that. So those are a couple examples of the mock-up. Test it. If you have a physical prototype made out of cardboard, for example, put items in it, photograph it so we can see that it's actually working. If it's a 3D model, just share the model. So this model here, I can't actually print it, I can't make it because it's too big. So I'm just going to leave it as is and share this as a screenshot maybe so that I can see what it is. And then iterate, evaluate the model. What could be done better? List at least a couple of changes that you could do to make your prototype better if you were going to do it again. If you have the physical model like this one, You can put things in it and see if it actually works, and document or photograph things that are not working well. If it's a 3D model, like this example, just look at it and analyze it. For example, looking at this, I don't think it has good storage for scissors and pencils, so I would have to go back in and redesign some better way to hold those two items. So those are the limitations, the things that you need to do. So again, you're creating a slideshow, and you're going to give me that slideshow with documentation of the design process and the final prototype pictures or 3D model. Again, if you want to do it as a Tinkercad model prototype, that's fine. If you want to do the prototype as a cardboard or wood or some other material, that's fine as well. So that is what we're doing. We're going to design a desk organizer. When this is due, I am not sure just yet. We'll see how things go. But you should get started on it and be well into working on this today and tomorrow.